Hey, this afternoon, going to do a little bit of rippling of my flax. So basically what the rippling is taking a set of combs, really heavy spaced out nails, and just combing the seed heads over the top of those and knock the seed heads off. I'm using the same setup I did last year. It works really good, and I can dismantle it, all that, so it's not a permanent. So last year I had this stand all the way up on its legs, and when I'm doing this, it's just throwing seed everywhere. Having it at an angle lets everything just kind of fall to the ground. And I'm doing it just out on the concrete rather than a tarp, because the tarp that I have is too small. So I'm just letting it roll onto the concrete, then I'm just going to sweep it up. Right now there's going to be seeds and seed heads on the ground and a bunch of other stuff, and so some of the seed's ready, some of it's not, and we're going to try and separate it and also break the seed heads apart to get the rest of the seed out. That'll come at a little bit later time, but right now I want to get the heads off and just create a bundle of fiber ready to ret. And that's the purpose of what we're doing today. So we're going to collect the seed and get that put aside. I've already got one of those big orange bucketfuls of seed heads already from doing some other trials here to see which setup works the best. This setup works the best, and with this angle. And then I'll just sweep it up. Makes it real quick and easy. So you can see I've already got some of my bundles that have been out drying, and they've gotten kind of bleached, but not through and through, but just on the outside. So what we're going to do, and I'll bring the camera over closer, is I'm just going to scrape these off on the nails, and then I'm going to undo the bundles, and we're going to stack the bundles in loose fiber, or loose stalks. Some of these seed heads have already lost seed on the ground while they've been drying, which I'll sweep up, and some have lost seed in the garden where I was growing them, and some of those seeds have already sprouted and started coming up, which I didn't want. So you can see the nails, and I just wedged the nails in the vise lock, and there's a little rubber piece in here. It's got a groove in it, so the heads of the nails fit in the groove, and just tighten it down, and they're really snug. So that really works well. And you can see the seed heads. Some of the seed heads are actually open, and if you break them down, that one still had like 2 seeds in it, but still, those are seeds. Trying to collect more than what I had to start with. So let's go ahead and get going. Do a little bit of rippling and kind of show you how it's done. In the old days, it was just a board with nails on it up on a sawhorse, same fashion. Probably didn't have a concrete thing to do it, so they just put it on a big tarp, which works just as well. So I'm going to keep them bundled up, but I'm going to unbundle them. When I'm done, I'll be able to just slide this right off the top. And so we're just going to put it in. And just pull. Just comb it through, and those seed heads just fall. And so we can pull that off, and they just fall to the ground. Big driveway, so I can sweep it up. It's going to all stay in a fairly small area. So now I have stalks of flax that's ready to be put in the retting pond. And so I'm stacking these up according to similar size, but this batch that I'm doing out here is almost all about the same size, so we'll just keep them all together. I'm not looking to collect every seed, but I am looking to collect enough seed to plant for this next growing season. So it just knocks those seeds right off. This big giant coarse comb, and let the seeds bounce and fly. And this actually does a little better because most everything just falls right to the ground. Not as bad as flying all over the place as with the other stuff. And again, so we got all these fibers. All the leaves and everything have already dried off and falling away. And so all the fibers are pretty much bundled. And that'll just go open up and just kind of let it sit in the retting pond so it's nice and open. And it should ret really fast. More here. I can just slide my little, so our little ties are really loose now anyway. Since they're already dry, didn't need to tighten them up. We'll just pull as much through as we can, get as much seed off as we can. Slide the tie right off. Toss the tie in a pile. So this stack is a little bit shorter than some of the others, so I'm going to start a short stack. Try and keep the fibers similar in length. So it looks like right now I have two sizes here in this huge pile here on the driveway, and all the seed is desirable, or as much as possible, but I'm not going to obsess over every single seed because I'm going to have a lot of seed here when I'm done, and I still have a whole bunch more in the garden to pull out. But I'm not harvesting any more fiber out of the garden because it's all dry and stiff and old. So I've collected as much fiber as I'm going to collect. So if you've never seen rippling, this is basically how it's done. So I'm going to call this my ripple effect. Ripple effect. And it works pretty good. Some of the seed's not viable seed, and you'll know by looking at it. It's very obvious what seed is viable and what's not. So it's not rocket science. So all these fiber ties you can see are just kind of twisted up. All twisted up over there. And, let's see if I can get in a little bit closer here. And you'll see how this all works. A little bit closer up. So, big seed heads, nails as my comb. My tie, take the seeds off the tie, which had seeds on it. And then just grab tight and pull. And the weight of this tool here pretty much keeps it where I need it to be. So I can use two hands to ripple the seeds off. And that's how it was done for generations. And that's how we are doing it. Eventually, this fiber I'm working on right now, these flax plants are going to be a shirt. That's the end goal. So some of these are really thin stalks, and they're going to produce really thin, fine fiber. And I'm going to try and keep that separated as well. So these thin ones, very specific, that I've pulled for that purpose. You can see that there's quite a bit of seed already on the driveway here. In the process of doing this, it also breaks some of the seed heads apart and releases the seed, which we're going to have to make a tool to do the final extraction. And then again, some just nice fiber. And we have some weeds out here. They're a bindweed, and that's what these leaves are right here. And they just dry up and crumble away. And there's no fiber in those. So they are kind of a pain in the butt when you're harvesting, but in the end they just kind of go away. Ties again, and again, just pull it through. And then somebody in your group would be separating seed. That'd be their job. Another's rippling, another's breaking for the stuff that's ready to break. See how all that just rolls right off. Simple as that. That's rippling. And that's what you are left with. And then this stuff just goes away after retting. And then we break it after retting and then turn it into soft fiber. So all this stuff now is ready to ret in the pond, which I have. My makeshift pond. It's a 10-foot swimming pool, which I did not use last year. I'm going to try it for the first time this year. See if it's big enough. Medium fiber, some of it's medium long. Some of those seed heads apart. Let seeds fall through. As you can see, a big pile. We're gonna sweep some of that up. Show you a bit. And most of it stayed right around here. Oop. Not quite a big bucket full, but getting there. So I think we're going to leave this. So we're going to just kind of swing that around. So we've got a big thick pile. It's hard to tell the depth of that from up here. So it's quite a bit of seed. And again, watching the seeds fall, that's pretty cool. Two more real quick and then we'll call it done for this particular job. I'll have lots to do off camera. Finish this up. Whole bunch. I'll do what I can and then I'll sweep it up, put it away for the night, and then we'll resume tomorrow. On Father's Day. There we go. Back it up. There's all the ties here, all the new fiber here. Very big, huge pile of ready to ret fiber. Just like that. So all the rest is going to get done. We'll our seed out there. Talk to y'all later.